Alright, so for the first trio landing spot in today's video, it's going to be super unique, and how it's going to be laid out is inside of the actual landing spot itself that is unknown. What I'm going to be doing is showing you where each of the 3 players in the trio should land specifically, and what exact loot route they should take then to actually maximize your time looting. So since there's all these trio tournaments coming up, and if you want to be making sure you're placing first, then this is definitely the video for you. But if I do have a small tip for you guys, then that would be to watch later on the video, because that's where the least amount of people are going to be, as everyone watches the start of a video, but not everyone finishes it. But hey guys, what's up? My name is Woods, and welcome back to another tip video on my channel. If you are new, then please do consider subscribing if you are looking to get better at Fortnite in any areas, because I actually let my own subscribers choose what tip videos they want made, personalized to them. So shout out to the people on last video that actually requested this exact topic. So if you guys are interested in getting your own personal tip video made to you, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, put on notifications, and be early on a video and request exactly the topic. Also, smash a like for the YouTube algorithm, and let's aim for 1,000 likes. Alright, but let's not waste any more of your time and move on to the first spot. So actually how this video is going to work is I'm going to show you a single spot, and inside that single spot I'm going to show you the 3 locations that individual players in your trio needs to land at. So for this first one, I'll have a picture on the screen of where you need to land, and the first person wants to land at this H formation house. There is a total of 2 chests inside this house, along with a workbench station that you can upgrade your guns with, because I know a lot of you guys want to be getting those purple pumps and tacks. Then go into the outside in the garden, there'll be a further chest there, and I'd highly recommend mining up some of the trees and fences along the way to get yourself extra mats, and then the third chest is right here. Alright, so now you've got a bunch of loot, let's focus on the second teammate, and they're going to be on flopper duty. So what this is going to be, the 2 islands just next to this H house is going to actually have a single chest in it with a bunch of fishing rods. Also, make sure you're grabbing any floor loot possible and extra ammo from the ammo boxes. From there, I would highly suggest straight away telling your trio to then start farming floppers, and then move over to the secondary island next to it and pick up the third chest on the island. If you are serious about trios, then I'd highly recommend sending them the link of today's video so they can get an understanding of where they shall land. Now, the third teammate is going to land at this small house with the crane outside, and now I would highly recommend talking to your trio and working out which player is the most confident to land by themselves. And it's just the fact that 90% of the time no one lands here, but just in case there is, then they don't feel scared to fight them off. Nevertheless though, there is 2 amazing mystery chests here, and then if you actually head down into the basement, there is usually a normal chest followed with a henchman chest, but I was recording this in creative mode, so it didn't actually appear for some reason. Do not forget to loot the roof, as sometimes there is some floor loot up there, along with there is also a fishing hole just to the side in case you want to get a spare flopper. Now this is definitely a really great spot, but it gets even better, because after you've all done looting, you need to recuperate with your trio and go to this truck here, that when you all mine, if you're standing next to it, it'll give you 200 shield, so don't drink any shields beforehand, conserving your shield. Alright, but if you thought the first spot was good, then the second spot is going to blow your socks off, because it actually has all 3 elements in the game that's going to help you win. And whoever lands here in your trio is going to be the first one to gather the shield for you. So it's actually going to have a chest you want to land up on this hill with. So there's going to be 2 chests. One was actually in the ground, but don't worry, you can collect both of them. Head on the zip wire to the other hill and collect the third chest. Then go back over on the zip wire and drop down to this place where you can get a maximum amount of wood for you and your team. Then grab the next chest and then head all the way over to these rocks, because you can get all your mats up for the rocks, and you can get free slurp barrels to get yourself shield. And now the second guy in your trio, whoever you decide it to be, will actually probably get the best loot. However, actually that's kind of an understatement for the third guy, which we'll get into it in a minute, where he actually gets really good loot. But anyways, here you're actually going to have the first chest in the little outhouse, and then move on to the bridge and there'll be a second chest. Go down underneath and there'll be a third chest. Move along and go down the other side and there'll be a fourth chest, sometimes being a mystery chest which can give you insane loot. Then move on to the gas station, giving you another chest. Turn around and you can actually get some of these new things called the noms, or whatever they're called, and you can get free mushrooms and also apples. Then proceed to go up to the roof and get extra floor loot and mine the sign for loads of metal. But keep watching, because your third guy is actually going to be on flopper duty, and this spot is very unique itself. So when you land on this little boat down here, you actually want to go ahead and pick up all the floor loot and mine this boat here, along with getting that armor box, because it actually gives you free shield most of the time. Then you can go ahead and collect yourself up some free noms, and there's another chest that follows along. Keep watching though, because it actually gets even more insane, because you can actually fish these 2 fishing holes 4 times each, which is insane. Well, as you can see here, when I pull up all the loot in a minute, I start to get some of the blue, purple shotguns and ARs. So if you are struggling for loot already, don't worry, because these fishing holes have got you covered. Alright, you guys, coming into the number 3 spot is actually going to start to become even more unique, because most of the people that are watching today's video have already left by now. So that means if you are still watching, then you've got some of the most extravagant spots to land at. So it actually is on the side of this mountain, and there's actually the first chest on that hill you want to land at, and then drop down inside the house. If there is contestment, then I would highly suggest landing on top of the roof of the house instead of the hill. Proceed to go upstairs and get the further 2 chests in the bedroom, and then outside on the balcony there is an extra chest. This is insane, guys. There are so many chests in this tight little house that nobody knows about, and you'll never be contested here. Make your way down the hill, and there's a further chest that can sometimes be a mystery chest. Then move on, and actually you can fish some extra fishing holes, as there are 2 fishing holes down the side of this mountain, so you can go ahead and get a bunch of floppers for starting your game. Alright, so for the second guy in your trio, whoever you decide that to be, it's going to have to be somewhat of a confident lone wolf player for the start of the game. You're going to be wanting to land at this disco that is just on top of the mountain, and it can sometimes be great to have a visualization of other opponents that you might be able to spot from the top of this hill. Anyways, the first chest is upstairs, and then the second chest is in the mid-ground. Then you're actually going to go ahead and make your way outside this door here to the peak of the hill, and there's actually a third chest next to this campfire. If you do somehow get in a scrap, then you can go ahead and use that campfire. There's also a workbench and another chest you guys can go ahead and loot up to maximize your loot. Then head down the mountain on the boat to take no fall damage, and then head straight upstairs and mine through this wall, and you'll get another mystery chest, which can really help out in terms of getting scars and golden pumps and whatnot. Then make your way underneath the house, and there is another chest there, and by now you should be already super stacked. But if you're not already, then don't worry, because there's actually a flopper location, but even to top it off, there's another flopper location you can go ahead and get. Okay, so now your third guy is probably going to be the main builder of the group, because he's actually probably going to rack up the most amount of mats throughout this little looting route. So he's going to land very close in proximity to both of the other players, and he's going to land on this hill getting the first chest right there. Make sure you get all the ammo boxes to maximize your loot, head into this room here and try and pick up the chest and hope that you get a sniper. Because what I actually recommend is the scout kind of for this, and you can actually look around to all the other spots in the close proximity to work out if there's any other enemies that could contest you later on. But then speedily rolling down the hill, then you would actually go ahead and go to this rock formation and pick up the next chest. Then you can loot up all the rocks and wood. Now this fourth spot is personally one of my favorites. However, I'd recommend to be somewhat decent at the game, because this spot will actually get you a bunch of loot, but at the same time could lead to future kills. So if you are an aggressive player, this one is definitely for you. The first person though is going to land on the edge of the actual loot lake itself and go around and pick up these 2 chests in the first house, just like so. Then you want to rotate over, and there's some floppers you can pick up in the lake, but there's actually a third chest, a mystery chest sometimes, on that little boy right there. Anyways, moving over, you want to go inside this little bus here, and the best strategy I have for you guys is to mine the whole bus, and all of the chests and ammo boxes will all drop right in front of you. Moving on though to the secret little house next to it, the first person of the group is going to land here and swipe up all of that, and then continue to get loads of floppers from the lake, but while everyone else is looting up in the group. But anyways, the second guy of your group is actually going to probably end up with the best loot possible, because on this loot route specifically, in close proximity to all your other teammates, actually has the most chests. Obviously, I'm showing you these locations. You can mix it up a bit if you want and share the different chests and stuff like that with your teammates. Nevertheless though, grab that first chest up on the hill, drop down and get these other 2 chests in this little boathouse next to it. Then grab all the ammo chests and stuff, and then head over to the main boathouse and grab an extra chest, and then head upstairs and grab a further second chest inside of here. At this point you'll be super stacked, and now you're going to start to prioritize floppers. This is definitely an overall great location for floppers. Get a fishing rod or harpoon out of one of these fishing barrels, and then start to fish all the fishing holes around the island that you were in, but don't go too far out, because you have to save some of them for the third guy, which we'll get onto in a minute. But as you alright, so your third guy is mainly going to be focusing on floppers, but don't worry, he'll get just as much loot as everybody else. So he's going to land at this little hut on the edge of the shore, and he's actually going to go ahead and grab himself the first chest in here. Then I'd highly recommend grabbing yourself a fishing rod off the fishing barrel, and then swiftly moving over to this little island right here. Break up inside of the roof and grab this chest right here to grab yourself some extra loot, and then highly recommend picking up any floor loot in the house, and maybe mining the actual kitchen to get more metal for yourself. Then start to fish immediately, because there'll be a bunch of fishing holes all around the area that you can actually go ahead and swipe yourself up so many fishes and slurpfish. Okay, now the 5th spot is actually going to be one of the newest on the actual list, and how it's going to work is 2 people are actually going to land at the first spot that I'm showing you right now, and then the third one will split up and go to an island very close to it. So this place honestly is just filled with chests, and no one knows about it because it's only recently just been updated to the fact that you can actually visit there and get some of the chests. There's also a bunch of slurp barrels around the area, so don't drink any of your potions unless you have to, and you can just conserve them all by actually using some of the slurp barrels. Now, the third guy of the group is actually going to land at these palm tree islands very close to it, as you can see, and it'll actually be a bunch of wood and brick for you guys to mine up. Highly suggest grabbing all the armor boxes you can, because there won't be too much loot on here, but it's very discreet. Then you can go ahead and meet up with your teammates just after you've done all the fishing for your team that they will need, because there is so many fishing spots around that area. Okay, but if you are still watching that video, that means you've clearly enjoyed the video, and I've clearly done something right, so that means you guys could definitely consider subscribing to get more tips in future just like this, or even more landing spots. Also, I'm super close to 90,000 subscribers, so if you could help me out, that would be awesome in subscribing and turning on those notifications so you never miss another tip video. Also, remember smashing the like for the YouTube algorithm, and let's try and go for 1,000 likes on today's video. That would be very awesome. But other than that, don't waste any more of your time and check out some more of my tip videos and learn even more and improve drastically fast. Love you all. Peace out, guys.